We were discussing the system analysis last week. That means system analysis mainly focus about the requirements. So requirements, we were discuss about there are two types of requirements, functional requirements and non-functional requirements. So requirement analysis process of studying and analyzing the user needs to arrive the definitions of the problem domain and system requirement. For example, if we consider about the fan, what are the main requirement of the fan? That what's the main functional requirement? We can say the giving the wind out is the functional requirement of a fan. So the non-functional requirement mean the casing, the color, warranty period, and whether it is a manual one or auto one with the remote controller. Likewise, those features we can say non-functional requirements. So what the system should do is considered as a main functional requirements. How the system behave, how the system perform the functional requirement, that we how it overcome all the functional requirements, then that means non-functional. For example, security limitations and the speed of the fan and how many rotation it can do within 1 second. Likewise, if we consider about the limitations, security, efficiency, those things we can consider as a non-functional requirements. So now we'll move to the functional and non-functional requirements and their differences. Functional requirement means requested functionalities or behavior of the system defines with the shell. So what the user requested from the system, we can say it as a functional requirement. That means what the system should do. Any requirement which specify what the system should do, what it gives us, we call it as functional requirement. So normally IEEE standard we say shall should be there, but for our exam they are changing shall and should. Therefore, don't fix only for the shall and should. You better identify what the system should do and that means what are the main function requirement of the system. Then when we consider about the non-functional requirement, how well or with what limits requirement should be satisfied. That means how the system requirements are going to satisfy. So there are some things say nice to have requirement with the should. Word should is using. So the down part, this one, functional requirements, that mean product features, and non-functional requirement mean product properties. So features of the fan mean giving the wind and what are the features, and properties we can say the color and the whether it is auto fan or manual fan. Then user requirement is satisfying with the functional requirement, and non-functional requirement user expectation. So warranty period and the speed, those things we can say. We'll write later. I'll just explain. So examples of functional requirements, we can say fan, give wind out, computer, input data using input devices. When we consider about the computer, we can get the processing using processing devices inside ALU, CUMU. Then, for example, we can say computer give the, we can play games, do calculations using computer. Then display outputs using output devices, give sound outs, print outs, video output. When we consider about the bicycle, we use it to move forward. I think I have given that example. Look at this cycle. Can we say this as a cycle in the beginning, that before we, with all the parts? Can we say all these parts as a cycle? Can't. When all the parts are removed and kept separately, we can't say it as a cycle. But a group of interrelated interdependent components, if we link together according to the given plan, we can make a cycle. But can we say this as a system? Is this giving us a functional requirement? No, it says keep like that. Ne? It is not moving. So uh, once it is giving us some kind of specific objectives, if it is functioning, can we say now this as a system? What is the functional requirement of the fan? Moving forward direction. Ne? This is good for the exercise machine. In same place, that person is riding the bicycle, but it's not moving. Okay, so if the main function requirement is moving forward, so still it is not functioning. Eh? So then now it is functioning. So while it is functioning, it is performing some task, we can say it is a system. But if the main task is not riding the bicycle in the same position, we can't say it as a system. Okay. So when we consider about the ATM machine, what can you say? In ATM machine, what's the main task of the ATM machine? We can withdraw money. Other than that, what are the other tasks in ATM machines? Withdraw money as well as we can deposit money. So main task we can consider as a withdraw money. Then depositing money also we can consider. So like us, there are main functions as well as non-functions. Then if we consider about giving receipt in the ATM machine, can we take it as a functional requirement? No, it is nice to have. It's better to have. Then touch screen in the ATM machine. Even though the touch screen is not there, we can use it with the buttons. And mobile phone, if the mobile phone consists of buttons instead of touch screen, what can you say? Touch screen is nice to have. Tibu not Honda. It is not the must. It is not essential. But if what is the main function of the mobile phone? Just we'll discuss that. What is the function of mobile phone?